Again, Tony Lane and John Foster down here in the plush new locker room down here at the Logan Wildcats High School on the island with Coach Napper and Coach Soupy. Soupy down here at my far right, the young man with the mic. Well, Coach, how's this season been compared to others in going to the state tournament?
Long. No, this has been our toughest season that I think since I've been here. With injuries and different things that factored in on it this season, along with Coach's incredible schedule we got this year. Yeah. I don't know if the Buckeyes could have did what we did with this schedule. It is brutal. But, yeah, it's been tough. It's been a tough year. But, we've scrapped and we've competed and won, 15-10 now? That's probably the worst record we've had in a while. But, stacked up with who we're playing against, I guess that's not bad.
Right. Yeah, you get a shot to go to Charleston. Never a bad year. Brad, let's move over to you and let's talk about day one when you come in the gym, and as you're here, you're on the brink of going to Charleston. Talk about the growth of the team just as a whole.
Well, you want to start off and get the guys to come out early and work hard, and fundamentals early, and try to build them as a team later on in the season, and come together at the right time. And I think we did that. We've been playing better the last couple weeks, and we're getting a little more healthy now. Hopefully we can get Trevor back next week. We're keeping our fingers crossed for that. So, maybe we will be firing on all cylinders come next week.
All right. Speaking of next week, Brad, what are your thoughts on this Morgantown team you got coming up?
Oh, they're very good. They may be the best team in the state. They're big. They have 7 or 8 guys that can play. They play great defense. They run their sets as well as anybody we've played all year. They're just good. They're a good all-around team. They don't have a lot of weaknesses.
Absolutely. A team without no weaknesses, that's tough to go up against.
Yeah, that's tough to prepare for.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you guys seen any film on them or whatnot? Do you know what you're preparing for? You want to tell
Yeah, we've watched a couple films. We're going to watch more today. So, we'll have watched several of them by the time we play next week.
All right. Coach Soupy over here. What can you say about this year's group of seniors you have on this team?
I could say a lot about this group of seniors we had this year. You're talking about Paul Herbert Williamson, arguably one of the best players I've ever coached, along with Mr. Green sitting over here, would be right in that group. Just an awesome athlete, awesome student. A kind of kid a coach wants to coach. You tell him something, and 99% of the time it's done. Deontay, super athletic. I would like to see his work ethic a little better, but it seems like when the big games are there, he comes to play. Gary Miller, he's kind of like my favorite a little bit for some reason because, he's come from as a freshman where he couldn't do anything to where now he's, bigger, stronger. He works hard on defense. He's scoring points. He's bought me a steak dinner, actually, from Mr. Bradley here for his production this year, which has tickled me. But, and I've drove that kid all over the eastern United States to different tournaments and things, and he's just so funny to be in a vehicle with. I mean, I could tell you story after story about the cat. He couldn't spell gnat. The little bug gnat,
right?
N-A-T. I'm like, no. And we laughed so hard, and we had to pretty much spell it out for him. But he's just a real super kid to be around. Who else we got out there as a senior? Mr. Hutchinson, who doesn't play a lot of varsity minutes, but a real good kid. He's just tickled to be a part of something, and he comes to practice every day and works hard, gets after people. What we want of him, and he knew that was his role early in the season. Am I leaving any seniors out, Mark? Spurlock, Mr. Spurlock. I won't tell you why we picked Mr. Spurlock up, but those are Coach Hatcher's dealings there. But he's a senior, strong. He plays hard all the time. He was a good practice player, fun to be around. You fall for these kids a little bit after you be around them for year after year after year and haul them around, and you hate to see them leave. But our senior class this year, a lot like last year, they're going to be sadly missed. How are you going to replace a Paul Herbert Williamson?
Right.
They just come around once in every long time. Deontay so athletic, but we got a decent group of kids coming back behind them, and we'll have to see what happens with them. If their work ethic gets better than it is now, we could be a decent team again.
Well, you talk about role players. Nobody's played a bigger role for the past 6 or 7 years on the bench other than you, Soup. Now, we talked to you just a few weeks back, and you gave us a 97.8%, if I'm not mistaken, that you was not going to come back next season. Has that changed any?
It's about the same. I'm really, I've had some health issues here for the first time in my life here recently. I was diagnosed with diabetes back in December, and that's kind of, I'm going off to doctor's meetings every little bit and pharmacy meetings, and I'm starting to miss practice. And I don't know. I'm just really in a transition period now where I really don't know what I want to do next year. I love what I've been doing here at Logan. I mean, I really got to thank Mark and everybody for hooking me on here, because when my son came over here as a 7th grader, I'd come to be a daddy and just sit back and watch, because I coached about 3 years at Scott, then I coached Ramage Elementary for about 8 years, and I just piddled with it here and there. But when I come over here, I come to be a daddy, and Mark come up to me and said, "How would you like to be on my staff? I'd like to have you."
Right.
And I'm like, "I don't know, Mark." I said, "It's going to look funny, but I got a kid playing." But he said that wouldn't be a problem, that, his playing would take care of itself. So I ended up coaching on the freshman team. And then as my son, which is Brett, was a 9th grader with the freshman bunch, when they come up as sophomores, I came up with them.
Right.
And I just, it's just been an unbelievable run. I really love being here. The support is tremendous. People thank you for anything you do.
Right.
I don't know. I really don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Okay.
And don't forget to ask Brad that same question, because he's saying the same thing. But I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I'm about 95% sure right now that I may, maybe not come back next year. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll leave that up to Mark.
Well, for the Logan fans, that number's coming down, just for the record.
Well, Brad, Soupy asked the next question for you, man.
No comment.
No comment. Okay. Well, anyway, you've been here for a few years. Well, at least tell us how your experience has been in your years here so far with Logan, and potentially years to come.
It's been great. I mean, I love being here and being a part of this. I mean, there's no other place in West Virginia that with this atmosphere and the support you get from the community and the town. There's nothing like it. And I've had a great time here, and 9 years. So.
Yeah, that's a commitment after that many years for sure. So, I mean, if you ever do leave the place, I mean, is there always going to be like a piece of you that's always going to be here with Logan? You think?
Sure. This is my first coaching job, and like I said, you'll never forget the people you meet and the guys that play for you and the guys you coach with, and it's just a special thing to be a part of a group of guys that you really like and really enjoy hanging around.
It's fair enough. Well, we thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules on this Sunday. I know the weather's nice outside, so we appreciate you guys once again. And best of luck to you. Enjoy the experience once again in Charleston Civic Center. And y'all take care of yourselves, and we'll see you, hopefully next time. So Tony Lane, John Foster, we got Brad and Soupy here with Logan coaching staff on wvsportsnet.com.
Your sports voice of the Valley.